Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you've seen this face, hello, hi, my name is Topsy. Thank you for clicking in to watch this video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. So for this video I'm going to be doing a review of the Pat Mgrath Foundation that recently launched. I think it launched last week. I picked up mine from Selfridges. I ordered it online, and as usual, if you've been watching my foundation videos, you know that the struggle is always real to match myself to a shade, but I think I did okay. You guys will let me know in the comments section if I got my shade right. For reference, I am a combination skin kind of girl. On the perimeter of my face, my skin is normal. Right in my T-zone is oily, and under my eyes is dry. Just to get an idea of what skin type that I have. When Mother Pat came out with a foundation, I had to get my hands on it. I had to try it out because I just needed to know if her foundation is gonna be as good as her eyeshadows, which are amazing. So I am normally a girl who likes matte, full coverage, but I've noticed that actually the older I'm getting, I'm a woman of a particular age. I'm not, so hung up on full coverage anymore, or even the madness. I'm loving a bit of the dewy look these days, so I was happy to pick up this foundation and try it out. So I'll give you a bit of dates on the foundation. The foundation is right here. It's called the Pat Mgrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. It comes in a 35ml bottle, which is 1.18 fluid ounces. I believe this is just a little bit more than the average foundation. The average foundation gives you 30 mils, so you have about 5 mils extra in this. This foundation retails for 60 bucks. Yes, 60 pounds for myself, and in dollars I believe it's $68. This is officially the most expensive foundation that I own. And you know, when a foundation is bougie and expensive, when it comes in a dust bag, I was like, okay, fancy. So that was really cute. This is how the box looks like. It reminds me of a packet of cigarettes, weirdly enough. So it opens up like that, and the bottle looks like that. As you can see, just from the packaging, it's absolutely beautiful. It's got the black and gold cap. It's got like a gold label right on the front, and it has to have a pump. I mean, if I'm spending 60 pounds and it doesn't have a pump, then there's a problem. So obviously there's a nice solid pump on there, which we love. So I'll just basically just give you a little bit of detail about the foundation and the claims of the foundation. So the foundation comes in 36 shades, and they have shades for everybody from light to light medium to medium deep, and to the deep of shades. They have quite a few undertones ranging from red to neutral to yellow to olive, golden, and obviously when you get to the lighter shades, we have peach undertones and pink undertones. This foundation is supposed to be sheer to medium coverage. If you want to get a sheer coverage, you're advised to apply this foundation with your fingers, and if you want a medium coverage, you're advised to apply it with a brush. This foundation has a satin finish. It's supposed to be silky and luxurious. It's supposed to be creamy to the touch. They also claim that this foundation is long wearing. It's supposed to be suitable for all skin types, optically smoothing, and it's supposed to give you a healthy, youthful complexion, which I need because, I recently turned 40, so I need all the youthfulness that I can get in a bottle. I believe those are really all the claims looking at the website of the foundation. Now going on to what color that I picked up. I picked up the color Medium Deep 28. Just to give you a rough idea of what sort of foundation colors I wear in other brands. From MAC, which I guess is like the, you know, universal color that everybody's sort of familiar with, I wear NW45. I lean more to warm undertones, red undertone in my foundations. And for Fenty, I wear 420. Let's put on this foundation. I think I've talked for way too long now. So I've already primed my skin with the the Hydro Grip Primer. I'm sure you've heard quite a lot of things about this foundation. I have as well. I was intrigued, which is why I picked it up. So, I mean, we're not here to talk about the primer, but this is a very good primer if you wanted to know what I feel about it. So I've already primed my skin using that. And now we're gonna move on to the foundation. Got my plate here, as usual. I'm gonna do about 3 pumps. And what I would say about this foundation, I mean, I will show you, is it's quite runny. So that's 3 pumps, and I'm going to do 3 pumps in foundation. It's quite runny. It's a very liquidy foundation, so just so you know. And the brush that I'm using to apply my foundation today is the Real Techniques Instapop Cheek Brush. I use it as a foundation brush. So I'm just going to dot this all over my face. What I didn't notice when I first use this foundation is that it will appear like it's very red or orangey when I blend it out, but it just seemed to just sort of adapt to my face, and the redness did tone down. So I might look like Oompa Loompa to start with, but that would soon settle down. I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to buff that in. So as usual, what I do is I take a sponge and I just tap that over just to get rid of any streaks from the brush and just to remove any excess. I normally do this for any foundation that I wear. And this is the LC sponge. So as you can see, the redness is sort of toned down a bit more. It looks, I would say it looks redder on, is that even a word? It looks more red on my screen or on the camera compared to real life, so bear that in mind. But yeah, this is how the skin is looking. I haven't put any concealer on, I haven't done anything else. I've just put the foundation on, and yeah. So I would say it's not a bad match. I mean, if you look at it compared to my chest, as you can see, it has a sort of luminosity to it. It's not matte, and you can definitely see that it's more of a dewy foundation. So what I'll do now is I would finish up my makeup, and I'll come back and I would basically tell you the pros and cons of this foundation and how I feel about it. I am back, and this is the finished look. What is the name of this foundation again? Sublime Perfection. Yeah, this, if it's not obvious enough, but this foundation really is like perfection in a bottle. However, having said that, I have a few cons, which I'll share with you shortly. But if you can't tell on my face, I love this foundation. I mean, can you see this? All of this? It's beautiful. So anyway, let me stop like staring at myself and talk you through what I like about this foundation. What I love about this foundation is that it is skin-like. It's obviously sheer to medium coverage. So like I mentioned in my intro, if you want your coverage to be even sheerer than this, then you need to apply it with your fingers. I am not about the finger life, and I'm not about the sheer life. So I like medium coverage, and so I use the brush, and I love the fact that it looks like my skin but better. It does not oxidize. It did, as you can see from the previous clip, it did look a bit red when I first applied it, but it soon sort of settled into my skin, and yeah, and it was fine. It has a beautiful finish, as you can see. It's like it reminds me of my NARS Radiant foundation, but on steroids. This, yeah, it's everything in terms of the finish. All the other products that I applied on top of it, they sit very well. And yeah, in my highlighter, everything just sort of meshes together. I love that. I love the fact that the variety in the shades that they offer, different undertones. So whatever your undertone is, you would find something for you. It feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy on the skin. I love that. I mean, let's talk about the packaging. It's absolutely like bougie, very expensive. I mean, it is. So, you know, the packaging definitely, you know, reflects that. You know, it's very beautiful. I love the packaging, and I will be keeping this box. Yes, it's absolutely beautiful. So let's talk about the cons. As much as I've mentioned that it's perfection in a bottle, there are little cons that I'd like to bring to your attention. If you're someone who has a lot of acne scarring, who has a lot of blemishes, this would not be the foundation for you, because you would struggle to cover those imperfections up. And obviously, if you're someone who likes full coverage, then this would not be the foundation for you, because it's sheer to medium coverage. So I guess it's not really a con, but if that's what you look for in a foundation, then this would not fit that specification for you, if that makes sense. So it's not the foundation's fault, but I'm just to let you know that if those are the things you're looking for in the foundation, then this foundation would not be it. I did a wear test yesterday. I wore this foundation for 10 hours. The claims that it was long wearing is true. It was long wearing, and my oils did not start sort of seeping through till probably about the 6-hour mark, which is great. That's pretty much, even for my matte foundations, my oils still come through on my T-zone, which is where I'm oily, and 6 hours is about the mark where that happens. So I can't fold this foundation. 6 hours was fine, and all I did was just sort of touch it up with my powder, and looked like I just pretty much applied it, and it was still looking great. What I would say though is that if you have oily skin, if your skin is really oily, I would not advise this foundation, only because obviously it gives that luminous look already. So if you already have oily skin, in addition to that, I think that you might not like this foundation. I would recommend it for maybe the winter months if you have oily skin, but if you have dry skin or combination skin like myself, I would definitely say it's a thumbs up, and I would say that it would work for you. I can't even say that the price is a con, because it's like me buying a Birkin bag and saying that it's too expensive. We all know Pat Mgrath is a luxury brand, so we know what to expect. I have a eyeshadow palette, and it's amazing, and it's definitely worth the price. So I would say that this foundation is definitely worth the amount that it is. I would say this is definitely Topsy approved. I give it 2 thumbs up. I love it, and I actually feel like, ooh, it's creeping up there. It's right up there with my favorite foundations, and I absolutely love it. And I would say, if you're in the market for a new foundation and you have normal combination of dry skin, and even if you have oily skin, if you don't mind wearing it just in the winter months, then I would say definitely pick up this foundation. Obviously it will be a splurge because of how much it is, but I would say love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. I hope you guys found this review helpful. I hope it helped you make up your mind whether or not to pick up this foundation. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. That's my thoughts on the Pat Mgrath Sublime Perfection Foundation. I give it 2 thumbs up. It's Topsy approved. Get your hands on it. Spoil yourself. And yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out to watch this video. I appreciate you. And I will catch you guys in another video very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.